Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Witches of the Moon. My name is Thea, aka OriOasis.com, and this week we're talking about tarot cards. Reading for yourself or others reading them for you. My feelings on it are exactly the same. I really don't like other people reading for me. I have like very few people that I let read me. Uh, and the reason why is basically the same reason. You have to be, I guess the best way to describe it is to use the Bible quote, which is to be in this world and not of it. Right? You got to be in this world and not of it. So, with that being said, when you're reading your tarot cards, that's when you are literally in this world but not of it. So, you have to be able to detach your emotions from any situation. You have to be able to detach your emotions from any situation. You have to be able to connect with spirit. You have to be able to have discernment to know whether the cards are talking about you or talking about somebody else. You have to be mature enough and responsible enough to accept what the card says if it is talking about you. Um, you have to have, I mean, there's no way to have all the knowledge in the world, but you have to have enough knowledge to understand what the cards are telling you because the cards are only limited to what you know. I mean, you'll get other messages and stuff, things that you don't know about, but it's still limited to your understanding. So, if you have a very rigid understanding and a very strict understanding, you can easily get wrong messages for you or other people, or that person reading you can easily get a wrong message for you, and it really won't be their fault. Like for example, for them the color red can mean warning. There's a problem. Um, there's a warning or there's a problem. However, that color red in that instance could be showing up saying that maybe there's a relative looking for you, or this is something, not necessarily a problem, but just something that you need to pay attention to. Because most people pay attention to the color red, the eyes are automatically attracted to that. Um, little simple things like that. Um, Also, with tarot readings, most people are used to doom and gloom and things like that. For me, I don't like giving or having readings where I get doom and gloom if I don't have some type of solution to give, something to help, something to at least start them on the path to get them through. So, um, yeah, like, I mean, doing it for yourself is great. Doing it for yourself is great. I will always say, if you have to, I will always choose doing it for yourself over letting other people read you, even though I am a reader. Um, However, again, you have to be mature enough to accept what you're getting, have enough discernment to know what they're talking about, have discernment to know what situation is talking about, be open enough for the cards to give you another situation that spirit wants you to pay attention to and not the one you're trying to talk about. Um, and actually, that's for, or at least how I do my readings, that's for when other people are reading you too, or getting a reading. Um, don't force it, and don't force the cards. Uh, what else? Also, I know we're talking about tarot cards, but also find the cards that work for you. Tarot doesn't work for everybody. I'm gonna be totally honest. It does not. Um, Especially if you're talking about uh, the Aleister Crowley deck, because the Aleister Crowley deck is heavy occult, heavy left-hand path, heavy Christianity. That just doesn't work for everybody, and this is the reason why most people say that deck is hard to read. That deck is actually very easy to read if you're open to the left-hand path, Kabbalah, Christianity. The deck is not a problem. But most people are, while they're usually open to Kabbalah, they're like closed off on Christianity and things like that. They don't want to deal with that. So that's where the issue comes in at. Um, Also, you have to be open to your own symbols. And just because the card says something, if your spirit is getting something else, go with what your spirit is saying. That's only a representation of what the spirit is trying to give you. Basically, a focal point. That's what I'm getting at. Basically, the card is a focal point of what spirit is trying to give you. So it gives your eyes something to look at and your hands something to do while spirit talks to you. This is the same thing like a lot of times when we have to have a moving meditation where we dance or where we're dance or we're running or things like that. It just gives the body something to do and wear it down a little bit so that the mind can focus on something else, so that spirit can come through. Uh, as far as others reading you, I always say don't just go to anybody. Go with somebody that works with that goes with the energy. Now you know if this person could be the greatest reader in the world, but if you don't like the way that they talk, if you don't like the way that they talk, if you don't understand the language that they speak in, meaning are they speaking through uh, uh, like a lot of people nowadays are into ATRs, African traditional religions, right? They're going back to that. However, when people who are raised in that and are given readings, there are certain words that are used that are different languages that you may not know or have a full understanding of. And sometimes those words do not really translate to English that well, no matter what words you use. So if you're not into that, you don't understand that. If you're called to it, still go to it. But if you know for a fact you're not into that, don't go to that person. Just like me, I'm into the call, but everybody knows I'm still into the Bible. I'm still heavily into the Bible. I use it my way, but I'm still heavily into the Bible. And I use biblical quotes a lot of times. If you're not into that, I'm not the person for you. Um, I don't talk softly. I don't talk sweetly. If I'm told to cuss you out, I'm going to cuss you out. If you can't handle that, I'm not the person for you. Just like with someone else, but you also have to be mature enough to understand that if you're used to getting readings and everybody talks to you sweetly and calmly and it ain't working, then you need to also, if it ain't working, then you need to change and go to somebody who's going to tell you straight up, look, boo boo, you need to do this, you need to stop doing this dumb stuff and do this. Okay? So, as always, I feel like I'm rambling, but yeah, like, that's pretty much it for me. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to say, really, is that whether it be a person, whether you or somebody else, you have to have discernment, you have to be open, you have to have maturity. Um, that's really it that I can think of. Going to somebody else, only thing again that I could add on is that make sure that your energies match. Um, make sure that you understand the type of readings that they give. Make sure that you understand that person's personality so that you may not take it as an attack, because a lot of times people take things as an attack on them when one, they're not ready to hear what needs to be said, so they go to the wrong person. They're not ready to hear what needs to be said, or you're not ready to hear what needs to be said, and then the way the person says it, it puts the extra oomph on it. So there's that. So make sure your personalities match so you don't take that as they're attacking you, and that they do have your best interest in mind. Do research on the person. You may not always. A lot of people always say, talk to somebody that got a reading for them. But a lot of my clients are still into the church, so they're not open to. Oh yeah, let someone contact me so I can talk to them about it. They're not gonna do it. That's why I do a lot of one card free readings on like Periscope and well, mostly Periscope when I was doing it. I'm gonna get back into that. I haven't done it in a while. Haven't done it in a long time actually, but I am gonna get back into it. But that's one of the reasons why I would do those things. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna end this right here. I got a call coming in, so I gotta end this right here. So peace.